Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Look, guys, I was trying to wait for the post-fight press conference to end. However, it was trash. It was garbage. The media did not ask Devin Haney any real questions. Everything was softball. Nothing was brought up about the robbery. So I just turned it off. I don't even care how the rest of the post-fight conference goes because I know they're not going to ask Devin any real questions. It took them 5 hours to get Devin out there. And then when they finally came back on live, you had a whole bunch of people cheering for Devin as if they kicked out all the people who were going to ask real ass questions and only brought his fans in. And that's basically the bottom line. Only his fans and fanboys and people who write narratives believe Devin Haney won this fight. Because anybody with two eyes and a brain cell and knows boxing, has been around boxing for any length of time, knows that Devin Haney lost this fight. And I like Devin. Devin is a good fighter, but he was very basic in this fight. And when Loma figured him out, he won the fight down the stretch. Now, I don't know what Loma was doing in the 12th round, why he took his foot off the gas, why he didn't apply the pressure, why he didn't fight. I know he said that he thought he was ahead and didn't need to, just needed to stay defensive, which is stupid because at no point in time was he at risk of being knocked out or hurt. So why would you take your foot off the gas if you're not hurt? Makes no sense. I guess Loma thought that it was going to be fair judging, and people who said that it was going to be a robbery and saying Loma was going to win by robbery were wrong, but a robbery did happen. They were right in that aspect, but it was for Devin Haney. And I even brought this up before. I don't know if I did it on my channel or another person's live, but I brought up the fact that if anybody's going to get robbed, it would be Loma, because Lomachenko's at the twilight years of his career, and Devin's at the beginning of his career. Devin is young. Loma is old. There's not a lot of fights left for Loma, even if you won. What are you going to get out of him? One, maybe two, probably not three. And then his career is over. In fact, he may have retired if he got undisputed. That might have been the end right there of Loma. So you got to look at it like this. You let Devin win. Bob, I believe Bob is notorious for this shit because I watched Manny Pacquiao get robbed twice. I watched Manny get robbed against Timothy Bradley. Everybody knows Bradley lost that fucking fight. But what happened? The younger upcoming champion beat the older champion because the torch was going to get passed. Well, what happened? A big uh-oh and a fuck up in the rematch. Manny beat that ass 2 more times to go on with his career. But then what happened to Manny? Which is where he finally parts ways with Top Rank. He fights Jeff Horn, beats that ass and gets robbed again. And Jeff Horn was made out to be like a decent fighter, only to get his ass whooped by fucking Terrence Crawford. Now, going back to what I said, the fix was in. It's as clear as day. The judge, I got the scorecards over here, so let me see which one it is so I don't misspeak. Dave Moretti. Dave Moretti gave Devin Haney the 10th round. Dave Moretti gave Devin Haney the 10th round. The 10th round. How could you give Devin the 10th round? He landed 2 punches, and in that round was Loma's best round. He landed 20. He outlanded. In fact, I don't even have to say by 18 punches. He landed 10 times the amount of punches on Devin Haney at round 10, and Moretti still gave round 10 to Devin Haney. And you going to tell me the fix wasn't in? You going to tell me that this was fair? You're going to tell me that this is the way that the fight was supposed to play out? When Dave Moretti gave the 10th round to Devin Haney, and Devin Haney only landed 2 fucking punches to Loma's 20? Loma outdoing him by 10 times the amount of punches, and he still lost the round? But there's no fix in this. But boxing is not corrupt. This is why, and I've made so many videos about this, this is why fucking boxing is dying right here. Because the best do not win. They do not win when they deserve to win. And I don't mean the best fighters, meaning who people come to the consensus of the number one. I mean the best person on the night never fucking wins. It's robbery after robbery after robbery after robbery. This sport is trash. This sport has been dying. This sport is so bad off, YouTubers are making bigger waves than boxing because of this shit. You have unknown fighters that'll go up against premier fighters. beat him, and lose. You'll have older fighters, like what just happened in the Rolly fight. Older fighters come in, beat him, and lose. It's ridiculous. It's not cap. What is 10 times 2? What is 10 times 2? Last time I checked, 10 times 2 is 20. Devin Haney landed 2 punches. Loma landed 20. That's 10 times the amount of punches. Anyways, as I was saying, hold on, let me go to the comments real fast because I just said somebody. Let's see here. Just watched it now. Haney clearly clear winner. Glad judge. Yeah, I cannot agree with you on this one. 7-5 Loma. 10th round was a swing round to me. How did you give the 10th round to Haney? Could have been 8-4 to Loma. I had it 7-5 for Lomachenko as well. I don't see how you could give the 10th round to Devin when Loma landed 20-2. Let me see. The 35-year-old Ukrainian was never going to get close win over the young undefeated American champion in Vegas hometown. And you know what, Jimmy? Let me do this. I'm gonna drop the link. Whoever wants to get on here, tell me where I'm wrong, tell me where I'm right. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna drop the link. Bow. I'm not gonna be a coward. Anybody that wants to speak up for Devin Haney, go on. Get up here. Talk now. The dude got his ass whooped. He lost the fight. He lost the whole back end of the fight. He had a good body shot going early. He had a good jab going early. But when Loma figured out his timing of the jab to the face, the rare uppercut and the straight to the body, he started timing him with straight left, straight down the pipe, because Devin couldn't get his fucking head off the line. And he kept getting hit by straight after straight after straight after straight. He even told his dad, he even looked at his dad like, Daddy, he's got me figured out. I don't know what to do. He's got me figured out. And Bill was like, don't worry, Devin, you got this. The money's already been put in. The judges are already on your side. Moretti's got his eyes closed. Look at him. He's sleeping right there. The scorecard's already filled out. You won. Don't worry about it. I'm bullshitting. That's not the conversation, but it's what it should have been. So it's not cap. This is the business of boxing, and that is why boxing is dying, Kelvin. This is why MMA is becoming superior to boxing. This is why boxing is no longer a top 10 global sport. This is why boxing is dying. I don't give a fuck if a dude is 21 years old, everybody loves him, and he's fighting some guy who's 50 years old, and the 50-year-old beats him. The 50-year-old deserves to win. The winner deserves to win. Not the most popular, not the one with the money backing them, the winner. Only in boxing do we repeatedly get robbery after robbery after robbery. Tell me this. Tell me how the whole world can see a fight one way, but 3 people can see it different. How is that possible? How can everybody watching the fight see it one way, but 3 people ringside who supposedly have the best view, the best vantage point, can't get it right? Oh, I get it. The 3 at the ringside were right, and the whole world is crazy. That's not what really happened. Like I said, I'll come back to what I said at the beginning. There's only 2 people who believe Haney won. Fanboys and people who write narratives. If you're going to be honest and unbiased, the fact of the matter is he lost the fight. It was a good fight. It was a competitive fight early, but through the mid to late rounds, he was getting picked apart. The harder, cleaner shots were being landed by Lomachenko. Professional fighter after professional fighter after professional fighter after professional fighter are all saying Loma won. Now, I don't go much by like the ringside people, meaning the commentary at all, but how is it that everybody who judged the fight, who did their own scorecards before the scorecards were read by the judges, all had Lomachenko winning as well? Not one person in the broadcast had Devin Haney winning that fight. Not one. Not one. Not one. You could not find one. If you go to websites that were doing their own round by round of the fight, they all have Lomachenko winning. If you go to betting sites like DraftKings that do round by rounds, they all had Lomachenko winning, and that would have lost them money. The fact of the matter is, I'm sorry, but the fix was in, and I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. After what I saw with Devin Haney and how one-dimensional he is, and how once you figure him out, he cannot adapt or think his way through it, Shakur Stevenson will knock him the fuck out. It won't even be competitive. Devin Haney will not survive at 140. He will not. He'll go up to 140 and get sat right back down to 135. This dude, this is his last moment. Tank Davis is the number one guy of 135. I've always been, and I've said it before I saw this fight. I said Undisputed makes you number one. Undisputed with all the belts, you're the best guy in the division. But after what I just fucking saw in the robbery that I just witnessed, I'm going to say it right here, right now. Tank Davis is the number one guy. Tank Davis will knock him the fuck out. He won't make it. He won't make it 12 rounds. The dude lacks a lot, and it was exposed in this fight. He can only come up with one game plan, and if that one game plan doesn't work, there's no B, there's no C, there's no D. It's just rinse and repeat with Devin. There's no, where's the adaptability? Where is the, I'm a real pound for pound fighter? I'm sorry, Loma won the fight. But let me finish these comments, and then Jimmy, go ahead and you can speak after I finish these. You said round 10, Mike G. That's round 11? Did I look at it wrong? Okay, hold on. Doom. Let me go. Let me look at CompuBox because I might be so frustrated with this fucking fight that I'm not even remembering correctly.
You know what, Tony?
Round 11, you're right. It is round 11 where he outlanded Devin by 10 times the amount. But even in round 10, he heavily outlanded. He over doubled the amount of punches landed in round 10. So I was wrong. You are right. You were right. I was wrong. It was not round 10 I was talking about. It was 11. However, in round 10, he still outlanded Haney by double the amount of punches. So how does he lose that round? Two of the judges said, and these two judges were in the fix too, but they both gave it to Loma because it was so one-sided that you had to give it to Loma. But only one judge, Moretti, gave it to Devin. Let me finish this real fast. Boxing is a business first, then a sport. You're right. We already did that. Rambone Booth, and still a robbery. I agree with you. It went the way I predicted. Loma wins a competitive fight and loses anyway. Hey, Hawker, if that's the way you predicted it, you're 1,000% correct. Y'all hear him keep saying 10 right, so it's on record. I'm not capping. And Fresh, you heard me say that I was incorrect. You are right that I was thinking about round 11. However, still in round 10, he landed more than double of Haney's shots. More than double. So it's not like round 10 was any better than 11. So while I forgot the round and said it wrong and looked at it wrong, the fact of the matter still remains that in round 10, Haney still got outlanded by double the amount of shots, more than double the amount of shots at that. What's going on, Jimmy? How you doing?
Salute, bro. First of all, I want to say it was actually an entertaining fight. I really enjoyed the fight. It was much better than Tank versus Ryan. For two guys that are quote-unquote boxers, they definitely stood in the pocket and they exchanged more power punches than I thought they were going to do. I always said that if it was a close fight, you're talking about 35-year-old Ukrainian going to Las Vegas to fight an undefeated young American champion who's maybe got another 10 years in the game in Vegas, which is his hometown. I just didn't think that, historically, that's never, we know how that story ends, right? Historically, when the fight is competitive. Me personally, at the end of the fight, I thought Lomachenko did shade the fight. I thought it was a competitive fight, though, because I feel like Lomachenko, there were rounds where he was moving forward, he was pushing Haney back, but I felt like in those rounds as well, Haney was landing big body shots and right hooks. So there was a lot of swing rounds in that. Me personally, I thought Lomachenko should have won the fight at the end of it. It could have been the draw, but look, man, in these close fights, when you're fighting the A side, which obviously Haney was, that's why he got more money. He got the rematch, he got it in Vegas, he got everything his own way, right? The A side gets the call,
Hey, Jimmy, I'm going to respond to what you said. I thought I was through all the comments, but I wasn't. So let me finish off the comments real fast, and I'll come back to what you said. You know why I won't call this a robbery? Because both Loma and Dev didn't do anything significant to set themselves the rounds apart. They were all close, round by round. It was okay. I'll give it to someone. It's so here's the thing, Teach, and this is what I look at. A robbery does not have to be I beat you for all 12 rounds and still lose the fight. A robbery can still be a close fought fight, but it is clear, it is decisive who should have won the fight. It still can be a robbery. If it's competitive, but the wrong guy wins, it's still a robbery if it's plain to see. And that's how I feel. This was plain to see who won this fight. It was as clear as day to me who won the fight. And that's why I say this is a robbery. And the thing is you could ask Regulator. Me and him were talking about this before, like, I saw anything. I told him it was a robbery, and then sure enough, I look on social media and everywhere else, and everybody's saying it's a robbery. So
Yeah.
I'm not alone on this. Let me finish these out. Pratt said, I'm done with boxing, bro. Loma clearly won that fight. I'm about to start covering MMA. I've been saying it for a long time, and I don't like it, but I'm gonna learn to like it. Because at least in the
Come on.
hey, at least hold on, Jimmy. At least in the UFC, Bellator, whatever MMA promotional company you want to go with, they're fair. Why? Because all the fighters fight for them, so there's no point in even robbing anybody. At least the right guys normally win. It's very rare that robberies happen in MMA. It does happen, but it's rare. In boxing, it's a normal occasion. Let me finish this off. 6 of the rounds was separated by 2 punches or less. That's right, Fresh. And you know what you do? What's the criteria of scoring a boxing match? And that'll tell you who won those whenever only 2 punches. Clean, effective is at the top of the list. And by far, Loma was leaning the cleaner and more effective shots. Haney was actually hurt more than once in this fight. Loma was never hurt, not once. All right, let me go down to Teach. We're almost there. I actually think Haney was anxious in this fight. Let's be real. We've seen Haney perform better than this. Pressure got to him. Well, Teach, you know, your performance can always look better against lesser skilled opponents. When the level goes up, if your level doesn't rise, then you don't look as good as you normally would. I think Haney has a 60 to 65% chance to win. I could see the fight going a number of ways. Loma would stop Haney before Haney stopped him, in my opinion. I think Haney will win. Are you talking about Tank? I don't know what you're talking about, Fresh, right there. Or Loma winning the decision. This is what I said before the fight. Oh, okay, I got what you're saying. All right, the next thing made sense. All I know is, judging off of what I just saw with my eyes, Tank Davis would stop Devin Haney. Tank would stop him. Shakur would outbox him, and Haney will not survive at 140. This was his last fight. This was his last moment. Him being a Hall of Famer like he thinks he's going to be, he will not be, because his greatest win, his only good win, although I consider the Cambosos a good win too, but his best win is always going to have an asterisk by it. And after this asterisk, he's going to get his ass whooped. He is going to get his ass whooped. He will not have the size. He will not have the weight. He will not have the strength advantage at 140. All the top elites are bigger than him, stronger than him. In fact, somebody like Regis is much faster than him.
That's what I was about to say. How do you think he does against Regis Prograis?
Oh, he gets knocked out quickly. I don't think it goes past 5 rounds. Let me see. Nakatani said, yeah, that knockout in the 12th round hurt my heart, hurt my soul. I like the Maloney twins. Andrew was just snoring. He was snoring. That was a horrible knockout. Let's go to Jim knows what's up. Loma needs to, yeah, it's sad whenever you have to knock somebody out to win a fight. What's going on, CJ? Loma was robbed. I agree with you 1,000%. If y'all haven't done it yet, hit the thumbs up. And if you're not subbed to me, sub to the channel. It's true, Haney did look better when he boxed Scrubs. Let me see. I seen Linares hurt Haney. Y'all seen Loma do that? Tell me what round. I thought Haney lost. We all thought Haney lost, but a handful of people who are his huge fans. His huge fans. All right, now back to what you said, Jimmy. Yeah, I agree with you. At the start of the fight, Haney was doing very good body work. I mean, throughout the whole fight, he still stayed the body work. But the difference is for the first 5 rounds, he was coming off the high low, chaining them together, throwing the jab, throwing the straight to the body, coming with the uppercut. He was looking for the hook, the counter. But all that shit started to slow down and turn into singular shots once he started getting hit. He was looking for just onesies and twosies, but he wasn't chaining his punches together. Whereas whenever Loma would jump on him, he would explode and let his hands go. Devin really wasn't letting his hands go. And the few times that he was forced to late in the fight in the pocket, he was missing 90% of what he was throwing.
I think Lomachenko was. I think both guys were missing because it was a little scrappy. My thing with Tank Davis is I think Shakur, he's a very difficult night for anyone. As far as Tank Davis, bro, I've got to be honest. I've never really rated him that highly. I mean, this guy hasn't fought Lomachenko, Devin, or Shakur, and he went life and death with Isaac Cruz a couple of fights ago. A guy that no one really rates as a top lightweight, and against Rolly Romero, he looked like garbage as well. So I think as far as Devin and Tank, to me that's kind of 50-50. Because Tank Davis doesn't have the kind of footwork of a Lomachenko. He doesn't really use the angles or the turning or the slip and slide out of the pocket. He's a guy that sort of just kind of circles you, trying to set up big counter punches. And a guy like Devin Haney, I think, will be better off using his height and reach to try and hit and run and turn. And I think that's a tough fight, but I think he's done it lightweight. He said that. They asked him, "Who do you want to fight?"
Let me ask you this, Jimmy. So Loma brought pressure, and you could see Haney start to physically slow down throughout the later part of the fight. He wasn't used to being pushed to that pace, not being pushed backwards. Now, like you said, Tank circles you like a shark, right? Looking to line it up, looking for blood. Here's the problem that I see. When Loma started circling Haney, what was Loma hitting him with?
He was hitting him with right hands and left hands. I mean,
it was the left straight. He kept hitting him with the left straight because Haney couldn't get his head off the line. What happens if Tank Davis lines him up because he doesn't get his head off the line?
You know what, bro? I think he's done at 135. He said he's moving up the way he was talking. Because, I mean, this kid does cut. I mean, it took him 3 tries to make the weigh-in. Not the ceremony weigh-in they did for the media, but the real weigh-in they did in the morning in private. It took him 3 attempts. When he fought George Kambosos in the rematch, he looked like a zombie. He's talked about moving up for nearly 2 years. He said after the Kambosos fight, he wants to move up. He had the Kambosos rematch. Then he said after that, he was moving up. Then he fought Loma. I think he's done at this point. I think unless he gets a big, maybe like a big money fight with Tank, which I think this is the way it works, right? I think Devin Haney doesn't want to fight Shakur, right? He wants to fight Tank. And I don't think Tank wants to fight him. I think this is the kind of the triangle we've got here. Shakur wants Devin. Devin wants Tank. But Tank don't want Devin, so it's a bit of an awkward. But I think he's done it, bro. I just don't think.
I can promise you, Jimmy, right now, Tank is fucking foaming at the mouth for an opportunity to fight Devin. After what just happened, all of them, everybody in boxing, everybody in 140 is foaming at the mouth. Like, please come up here because they know he's fooled. He's done. He's been exposed. He's not gonna win. He's not gonna win.
That's why I didn't call any of them out. They asked him, "Who do you want to fight?" And he said, "I'm willing to fight anyone, but I'll see. This might be my last fight at lightweight. I've got to go back and talk to my team." And I think he's done at lightweight, bro. This guy, he has to literally cut over 30 or 40 pounds to make.
Who does he beat? Who does he beat at 140? Who can he beat at 140?
Bro, he took a selfie with Terence Crawford, and he looked bigger than Crawford. And Crawford fights at welterweight.
Okay. And Josh Taylor made Bud look like a child whenever they stood next to each other, whenever they were outside of fight competition. So, like, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, most of the fighters at 140 are every bit as big as Haney, if not bigger than him. Ramirez, when he blows up and gets in that ring, is way bigger than Haney.
Yeah, I think, look. No, I think the Teofimo fight makes sense. I think if Teofimo wins and beats Josh Taylor, which is yet to be seen, right? I think that's a good fight for Haney. Look, you have to remember, this kid's only 24 years old. He's fighting guys like George Kambosos, Lomachenko. I mean, Shakur Stevenson and Tank are both older than Devin Haney, and they really haven't fought, I mean, if we're honest, anyone that good, though. I mean, Tank has been fighting the who's that of the division, and Shakur literally fought this Yagoshi guy, and I honestly thought they were talking about a Super Mario character when someone mentioned that was his opponent. Um, yeah, I think. Do you not feel like you could learn from this fight though? You're talking about a 24-year-old kid
No,
fighting one of the best pound-for-pound
no,
fighters of
no,
the last decade.
no, 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 no. I don't think he can learn from it. No, I don't.
Why not?
I think he's food.
Got 140.
Look, his at 140 or 135, he's food. There's only two people he can fight at 135 if he stays. Well, three if he gives Loma a rematch, which you know is not going to happen. The other two that are the most plausible is Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson. Both of them will eat him alive. If he goes up to 140, he gives up every advantage he had at 135. He'll no longer be the bigger man. He'll no longer be the stronger man. He'll no longer be the longer man. And he'll no longer be the taller man. He will be shorter. He will be smaller. And he can't bust a fucking grape at 135. So if he can't stop somebody at 135, if he can't back a Lomachenko off of him, who's already small for 135, how the hell is he going to keep a Regis off of him? How is he going to keep a Josh off of him? Who doesn't even have to come to him because he can beat him from range? How's he going to keep a Ramirez off of him who's a meat grinder? In fact, I tell you this right now, mark my words, I bet you Post Style would beat this dude at 140.
What do you think of Tiafimo though? Tiafimo and him fighting at 140.
What about Tiafimo?
Tiafimo versus Devin Haney at 140 pounds.
Tiafimo's about to lose. Tiafimo, why? I don't even know why you're bringing up his name because Josh Taylor's about to stop this dude.
Well, that's yet to be seen, Tony. That is
It's not yet to be seen. It's already happened.
All right, man.
Call me clairvoyant. Call me a prophet. Call me Nostradamus because I'm telling you right now, he's already sleeping.
Bro, Josh Taylor, like, let's be honest, this guy's had 3 surgeries in the last, was he coming off a 2-year layoff? Yep. 3 surgeries. He looked like God. He looked really bad in his last fight. He's got issues with alcohol. This guy might be done, bro. Yeah, he might be done.
That man could be drinking alcohol and doing lines off a stripper's titties, and he would still beat Teofimo Lopez.
I don't know, bro. I feel like with Teofimo, he does have a lot
Teofimo lost his last fight, and just like Devin got a rivalry win. What are we talking about? This dude, Teo, is not even cut from the same cloth. Look, I understand that he looked bad. I understand that he's been running from the rematch. But Catterall is not Devin Haney. I'm telling you, Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez stands in front of you. He doesn't move around the ring. He's not very agile. Yes, he can slip to try to counter, but he stands in front of you when he counters. He doesn't move his feet. So he's going to have a dude right there for him. And if Regis couldn't put him away, how is Teo going to do it?
Jonathan is the same Josh Taylor that fought Regis Prograis there. I think he's had a lot of wars back-to-back. He fought Regis and Ramirez back-to-back. Before that, he fought Posto, a very good version of Posto, Baranchik, Jack Catterall. I just think that the robots and superfoods. Yeah, he's had a lot of hard fights in a row. Injuries.
None of them guys could crack his jaw. None of the injuries are to his face. His chin is still going to be there. And the only hope that Teo has is to knock him out. And Teo hasn't had any power at 140 pounds. Like, he really doesn't look like he has power.
I think he'll get a split decision, bro. Kind of similar to what we saw.
He's going to get slept. He's going to get put down. We're talking about the same Teo that got dropped by George Kambosos. Are we serious right now?
No, but that was at 35. I think at 140 he's a lot bigger and stronger, and I think he'll be more motivated, bro. You have to remember, right? Josh Taylor, right, isn't a star in the UK or the US. He's fighting an American Latino in New York who's, 26 years old, who might be with Top Rank for the 10 years.
And Josh is about to do what Loma cannot do. He's going to knock his ass out so he doesn't get robbed. Because obviously the only way to win in boxing is to knock people out.
Okay, who does the style favor, though? Teofimo is a good counter puncher, right? And Josh Taylor is going to bring the fire right to him. So it's going to play into...
Jimmy.
Yep.
Teo could not hit as hard as Regis if he had loaded gloves. Like, what the fuck are we talking about right now?
No, I don't think he'll... No, he's not going to knock Josh Taylor out, right? But I think he's going to do enough. I just got a feeling if it goes to points, he's going to win a split decision, you know? I feel like he'll do enough. And in New York, being a younger man, you know, with a sort of Latino sort of potential fan base, I feel like a guy like Josh Taylor, Great fighter, bro. He just hasn't crossed over as a star. Not in the UK, not in America, for whatever reason, whether it was bad luck, a poor promotion, but he just hasn't. He hasn't crossed over. And I feel like there's not really much you can do with him at this stage, especially with his injuries, and I think he's on the decline as well.
What does being a star have to do with knocking somebody out?
See, that's what you're banking on, a knockout.
I'm not banking on it. What I'm telling you is he's going to get knocked out. He is going to get slept. I'm not banking on anything. I'm not saying the only way that Josh Taylor could win is by knockout. What I'm telling you is T.O.'s not going to make it to that 12th round.
Okay, bro. I think in about a month's time, you're going to be doing a similar video talking about a robbery. I've just got a feeling, bro, if it goes to the cards, and I think it will be a good fight. I think Josh Taylor, Teofimo is a good counter puncher. He's got a good jab, and he can punch. And I think he'll show up game. For his biggest fights, Richard Comey, Lomachenko, I think he always comes game. He's a crazy Fruit Loop, but when he knows he's against the fire, he does show up in great shape and with his game face on. And I think he will. I think we'll get a very good version of
Jimmy. Jimmy, are you forgetting that not only Kambosos put him on his ass, but so did Sando Martin. Martin put him on his ass.
I thought that was a bit of a flash knockdown, though. It was kind of like.
I don't care. I don't care if it was a Polaroid knockdown. The point is this: much lesser fighters are putting him on his ass. What do you think is going to happen whenever Josh starts unloading on him?
You're right, bro. This is why I said there's a strong possibility Josh Taylor blasts him out, but there's also a strong possibility that Josh Taylor is washed up. And he's going into the fight maybe 50, 60%, and Teofimo is really going to step up, and it'll be a good fight, a close fight, but I think he'll win on split decision, and you're going to hear the new, and you're going to hear that and the new. Josh Taylor might even knock him down,
Let me hear these comments real fast, and we'll come back to your never be new champion, T.O. Devin is undefeated. Come on, my guy. We got to let go of the hate. There's no hate here. It's just evidence, and it's clear to see that Lomachenko won the fight. I don't hate Devin, but he lost. I'm not going to say he got his ass whooped because it was a close fight, but he lost. T.O. don't hit harder than Regis Prograis. I agree with you. Big say so. Shit, Lomachenko won. He had it 8-4 or 7-5. I had it 7-5. Iceman.
Yeah, but come on, you guys. Okay. Hold on.
He says fake news. I told everyone Loma ain't old. Loma is old. But I could tell you this: if this fight would have happened 4 years ago, Loma would have really hurt Devin. Loma gotta hold that L. I'm sorry. The only real loser in this fight is Devin Haney. It doesn't matter that Devin won. People can fangirl for him all day long, but everybody knows Loma won that fight. And he'll always have that asterisk. And when he loses his next big fight, Devin, that is, he'll never be known for anything. He won't be known for anything.
How'd you have Ward Kovalev won, though, Tony? Who'd you win that fight?
Kovalev won that fight.
Okay.
And what happened, bro? I don't even like Kovalev.
No, I don't like him either, but I'm just saying.
Prodigal, how you doing? Hey, Prodigal, hop on the chat if you can. My dude, I tore my, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Mark Anthony in the building. I'm going to wait for you to jump on before I tell you what I tore. Gutted for Loma. Let me see. They got to run it back. They won't run it back. Oh, Bob, what did Bob say? Did Bob say it at the end of the press conference? Because all I saw was softball questions for Devin Haney, so I turned the shit off. I didn't even want to watch it because they weren't even asking real questions.
I think this was a passing of the torch fight. It did kind of go wrong, but let's be honest. And I love Big Say So. He's my homie. He knows I'm cool with him. That's my dude. But and I respect you, Tony. But you two picked Lomachenko to win, right? So I feel like you guys were giving him the benefit of the doubt in the close rounds.
I picked Devin to win originally. I said Devin Haney will win the fight. It's a 50-50 fight. After the shove, I said I think Loma's going to win because Devin's going to be aggressive like he was in this fight. However, hold on, let me finish. That has nothing to do with anything because I remember whenever Chocolatito and Estrada fought in the second fight, I picked Estrada to win. And when Estrada won, I said he lost the fight, even though I picked him. So there's been, hold on, Jimmy. There's been multiple times throughout my predictions, my picks, where I picked a fighter and I felt like they lost, and I say they lost even though I picked them. So you can't say because I said Loma ultimately would win. That's why I'm saying this.
No, I agree with you though. I thought Loma edged it, but you guys are using the word robbery though. That's
It is a
you
robbery.
know,
It is a robbery.
but that's
He
a
was
heavy
robbed.
word though.
It's not a heavy word. Well, you know what's heavy? To
Yeah.
see it 116 to 112. What explain that scorecard? 8-4 for Devin Haney. How does that happen?
That was a really
No, no,
bad
no, no,
scorecard, bro.
ain't no fucking bad, ain't no mistakes in this. What is that?
Yeah. No,
It's a
bro.
fucking robbery.
All right. So if you have it 7-5, right, or 6-6, then how can you call that fight a robbery? There's a lot of.
Explain 116 to 112.
I mean, obviously, it was a bad judge, bro. I mean,
I'm
it
not
happens in
asking
boxing.
for excuses. Explain 116 to 112.
It's a bad scorecard, man, because you couldn't score that fight. It's impossible to score an 8-4 for Devin
Did
Haney.
you know that Team Lomachenko petitioned to have that Judge Moretti removed from the fight and they denied it? Even though in every other fight, when you petition to get a judge removed, they accept it.
What's going on, fellas?
Yeah.
What's going on, Prodigal?
Long time. How you
Yeah,
guys doing?
long time, because I ain't been going live lately. But I wanted to tell you now that you're on. I didn't want to say it and then you was like flipping on. Dude, I tore my labrum.
Oh man. Oh no. How'd you manage that?
I don't know. I have no idea, but that's where all my shoulder pain's been coming from. I went to a physical therapist. I got to still get the MRI, but she is from all the like motions, everything she did, listening to the popping noise that happens when I move my arm up and like away from my body. She said that she's willing to bet that I tore my labrum.
How long are you on the mend for?
I don't know. I still have full mobility of my shoulder. I've lost about 20 to 30% strength in my right arm. So now it's just we got to figure out if it's a major tear or a minor tear, if surgery has to be done or not. She said if it's a minor tear, I should be fine as long as I take it easy.
Yeah, I'm thinking it'd probably be the latter because it seems like since you still have the mobility, it might not be as bad. If it was like really bad, then yeah, you'd be on the mend for quite a while. But the fact that you have mobility, that's a good sign.
Yeah, hopefully it's a minor tear. Then you can just take some medication and rehab, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, tell her to give me some cortisone. Let me be like an NFL player. Go ahead, hit that cortisone in there.
uh, what did go? What's it? The gentleman in the panel that just came on. What's his thoughts? Was the whole world screaming robbery, and I don't know, man. I just didn't see it as a robbery. Okay, Lomachenko won the fight. It was a close fight, but I mean, 7-5 fights, man. When you're fighting the champion, it's not the worst decision I've seen. You know.
You know what's crazy, Jimmy? Two of the rounds
Yeah.
that I gave to Devin were swing rounds. And truth be told, I could see somebody giving those rounds to Loma, which means he would have won by more than 7-5 on my scorecard. Not one round that I gave to Loma, I felt was a swing round.
Yeah. No, I think if anyone deserved 8-4 in that fight, it should have been Lomachenko. But
The
like I said,
fact that you just said and laughed saying it, if anybody deserved the 8-4, it was Loma. And you don't think it's a robbery, it's crazy to me. Prodigal, how'd you see the fight?
Like I said, I think Loma definitely nicked it. It just I'm a Loma fan. I'm not gonna say I don't have like a certain amount of bias, but I think you just edged it. It was a close fight. I saw it. If it wasn't a Loma win, it definitely was a draw. But I couldn't see Haney necessarily winning as much as he did on the scorecard.
Yeah, I can't. I couldn't see Haney winning, period.
Could you ever draw though?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I heard 116, 112, I was like, fuck. Haney's about to get the robbery win. Then I heard 115 to 113. I was like, okay, Loma's gonna override that. Loma's gonna win because I had it 7-5. And then when I heard, and still, I was like, nope, I'm done.
See,
I'm surprised.
you
One
know,
match.
it kind of put a dap on my day because I was like rooting for Chantel Cameron earlier in the day, and I was like, okay, she got that. And then I was hoping the same thing would happen with Loma, so it was like, oh man.
Can't get them
I'm
all.
glad that you brought up that fight, Prodigal, because here's the thing, Jimmy. Check this out. I thought, and I've said, I can name real fast. Let me name 3 fights before I say this as a disclaimer. I thought Katie Taylor lost to Lennon R2. I thought she lost to Pursoon in the first fight, and I thought Amanda Serrano beat her as well. So I'm not the biggest Katie Taylor fan. However, I thought she beat Cameron. On my scorecard, I had it 7 rounds for Katie Taylor, 3 for Chantel Cameron. However, I did not feel like it was a robbery because they were super close, and I could see how you could judge it the other way around. The difference in this fight is I could see no other way around it because I felt like the rounds that Loma won were clear.
Okay. Could you score a draw though if you were generous to Devin Haney?
I was generous. That's why every swing round I gave to Devin.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, it's like I said, I was rooting for Lomachenko. I was hoping he'd win because I really want to see him become undisputed before he sailed off into the sunset. But I mean, it's just unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. I mean, I didn't think it was as wide as what a lot of people are saying. But then again, you know, I was a little. Maybe I need to watch it again. You know, I was watching it with the British commentary, and at the end of it, they thought it could have gone either way as well. I enjoyed the fight though. It's very entertaining, man. Both guys were on the front foot. They were going back and forth. There was, you know, a few swing rounds. And you know, in close fights, the hometown champion, and Vegas is Devin Haney's hometown, right? And he's the American champion. So for me, it was kind of expected. You know, I thought it was close. Devin Haney was gonna get the call, and he got the call in a close fight. You know, I like to see a rematch, but I think Lomachenko will do worse in the rematch. At 35 years old, how many times can Lomachenko go to the well and drag out a performance like this? You know. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to change your name, but it was too many characters, so I couldn't do it.
My name, oh, come on.
Yeah,
I'm not even a fan of David Haney.
I was about to change your name, but it was too many characters, so it wouldn't let me do it.
I don't know. I think I feel like I have to disagree. I feel like Loma definitely proved that he could still cut it at world level, and I feel like maybe this will be sort of the fire under him to really put a dent in Haney if they rematch it again.
I don't think they'll rematch. Because what would be the point, though? Yeah, you've won the fight. Look, he needs to leave 135. His gas tank is completely fucked after 8 rounds because he kills himself to make weight. The kid literally cuts 25 to 30 pounds to make lightweight. This is why he gasses out. This is why he gets hurt late in fights because
Okay, let me ask you this, Jimmy. You just said he gasses out late in fights. So what happens if he gasses out against Tank late in the fight?
That's why he shouldn't be at 135 anymore. I think at 140 he'll be bigger, stronger. And his gas tank will be
Just hold on, Jimmy. But what happens? Answer the question, please.
If he gasses out against Tank, man, he could get really hurt in that fight, you know. But he's also got the skills to outbox Tank Davis as well. The long jab.
It doesn't matter. He could outbox him for 8 rounds. What happens if he gets tired from rounds 9 through 12?
Tank doesn't really put that kind of pressure that Lomachenko puts on fighters, though. He's kind of
why are you avoiding what would happen?
He'd get knocked out.
Exactly. So let me ask you this. What happens if Devin Haney gasses against Shakur Stevenson, who will put more pressure on him than Lomachenko?
Look, the Shakur fight's not a good fight for Devin Haney at this stage. I think Shakur would really, you know, fuck him up, to be honest, at this stage. Because I don't think, I think he's done at lightweight. This kid is probably a few.
Right. So let's move on. More than likely, he gets beat by the two top guys at lightweight. Can we agree to that?
Tank is a 50-50 fight to me. I don't know who wins that.
50-50 after what I saw, that shit ain't 50-50. Devin cannot get his head off the line. He can't move his fucking head.
How does Haney compare to Garcia?
I don't know. I think that's 50-50.
Because I think that would be the litmus test. If Garcia and Haney, whoever would win between that, I think would be a litmus test for where.
If he goes to 140, as long as he stays away from Prograis, I think he'll be all right.
I mean, that would be a good fight. 140, Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. That's a fight that Devin could lose. It's a fight that Ryan could lose. The only difference here is Haney's not going to be able to knock out Ryan like Tank did. Um, I consider it a knockout, but he stopped him to the body. But the bottom line is Haney's not going to be able to stop him. We know it's going to go 12 or 10 rounds because it won't be a title fight. But if Haney moves up, more than likely he would challenge a champion from the bat since he's undisputed. So who could he beat on the elite level?
Well, he's got the WBO belt, so he can have a direct shot at the winner of Josh Taylor versus Teofimo. That'd be the easiest way to get a belt. But I think Bill Haney's smart. He's a smart dude. He'll move his son up, and I think they'll have a couple of tune-ups to really get adjusted to the weight. To make sure he's strong. Because jumping in the deep end at 140 could be career suicide.
He's already done. I'm telling you. Who does he beat? Okay, let's say he has 2 tune-ups. Okay, now he's acclimated to the weight that he should have been fighting at all along. Okay, he's 140. Cool. Who does he beat?
I think the Teofimo fight is good for him. I think you know what? Let me see how he looks at 140. Then I'll make my mind up about, because look, it's easy to say Prograis would walk through him and destroy him, but if Devin Haney moves up at 140, he looks faster, stronger. I mean, it just depends on how he looks. I mean, maybe the kid is killing himself. But
Jimmy,
what about if he looks?
Jimmy, they gave Haney an unheard of 36 hours to rehydrate for this fight.
Yeah. 36 hours. Yep. I just think it's just too much, bro. You can't really recover that amount of weight. But this dude took a selfie with Canelo, and the dude looked the same size as Canelo, a man that went up to light heavyweight before Dimitri Bivol 2 months later. So,
I bet you Barbosa would beat the shit out of Haney.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. Haney's not that bad, bro.
I'm telling you, Arnold Barbosa would beat the living shit out of him.
Who would you pick about against him and Jose Ramirez?
Ramirez.
Okay, well, Matias. I mean, I think we don't, that ain't bad. I think maybe Taylor's the easiest guy right now, but he looks on the slide. The winner of Teofimo Taylor. I think that's the best fight.
You keep saying he looks on the slide because of what you saw against Catterall, but Haney's not going to be able to move like Catterall. He doesn't.
I mean, he does know how to run. I mean, jab and run. I mean, he's done it before, bro. In this fight, he didn't do it so much, but Josh Taylor doesn't have the kind of slick, the footwork or the angles or the speed of a Lomachenko. He's a guy that kind of.
Catterall fought Taylor like Loma would fight somebody. That's how he fought him. He fought him off angles, moving around the pocket. Devin doesn't do that.
No, Devin's a guy that, if you look at the first George Kambosos fight, hit and move, clinch. I mean, he did that sort of style.
How is he going to clinch against Josh Taylor, who will ragdoll him like a little child?
Bro, that's my point, though. I'm saying this kid is huge at lightweight, and the reason why his gas tank blows after 8 rounds because he's weight drained.
You realize that Josh Taylor's taller than Devin Haney, right?
Yep.
And he's got a longer reach.
Bro, it's not easy, bro. I'm not picking him to win these fights, but
no, I'm just saying. Like, Haney fights from the outside. That's what he does. That's his MO. Against Taylor, he's got to come in closer because he's shorter and his arms are not as long. So he's got to get mid-range where he's not good at.
Look, I think the sensible thing would be to take a couple of tune-ups at 140 just to acclimate to the weight, and then try and target one of the champions, which would be, if Teofimo, I think that's the best option. If you can't get Teofimo, I don't know, man, it's tough at 140, man. 140 is full of serial killers, you know what I'm saying? Josh Taylor, Regis, Matias. I mean, there's a lot of smoke there.
Okay, let me ask you this. If Shakur Stevenson was to move up, do you think he could handle himself?
I think Shakur Stevenson could have success, but I would not pick him to beat, at this stage, Regis Prograis or Josh Taylor. I'm not really sure how much is left in him. But I'd favor Regis Prograis at this stage, I think, because he just got to lightweight. So for him to jump up again, I think he'd be too small. With Devin Haney, he's a bigger dude naturally, so he'd probably have better luck. He's got a good jab, man. I know it didn't work against Lomachenko that much, but Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor are not Lomachenko.
I don't see it. I don't see it in Haney. I saw food. That's what I saw after this fight. There's not a
Okay,
fighter from 135 to 140, meaning Shakur and Tank, that would not fight him.
Okay, but if you were his advisor, right? Well, wouldn't you say, look, kid, you're 25 years old, going on 26. You've been at lightweight way too long. You've been at the weight for several years. You're killing yourself. Let's bulk you up to 140. You'll be bigger, stronger. You'll have a better gas tank, and you might hit harder. Sometimes when you move up in weight, I've seen fighters, start to hit harder because they're physically stronger, they're bigger, and they have heavier crack. Do you think maybe you could gain more punching power?
If I was his advisor, I'd say, look, man, you need to take the Lomachenko fight again because you ain't gonna beat nobody else. I'm just being honest. Like, he's not gonna beat nobody else. He's not. Oh, he's gone. How do you feel, Prodigal? You think I'm being too critical on him, or do you see the same thing I see?
No, I see it too, in a sense that I think if you're the champion, if there's anything that's like unblemished, like in a sense that if people question you that, you lost, I would immediately take a rematch, to prove that I'm the man. It's like there's going to be no questions, nobody's going to answer to me in the sense that, uh, I lost something. It's like you're not going to tell me I lost. It's like if I beat him one time, I could beat him again.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think he thinks he can beat him because you could look at his face whenever they were standing there waiting for the announcement of who won the fight. He had already looked defeated. He looked defeated in the corner in the later rounds.
Oh yeah, no, most definitely. I believe that too. It's I'm not going to say it's a gift decision, but when you have the owner of the company telling the other guy that he won that fight.
Did Bob do that in front of Devin, or did he do it before Devin came out?
No, I think it's when Loma was talking because it was like I was watching Fight Hype. It had a cut of when Bob was talking to him, I guess behind the scenes or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I wish Bob would have said something in front of Devin. I wish anybody, like I said, I had to turn off the press conference because not one person asked him a real ass question about the fight, and it just irritated me.
Someone I was reading a comment that said Mayweather sent Devin over there to take all the belts from Bob, basically.
Mayweather probably put the fix in for him in Vegas. Like,
yeah,
fuck.
that's what I'm saying.
Allegedly,
man. Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah, you always got to say allegedly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I'm about to go to bed, my dude. It was good talking to you, but I just saw this as a robbery personally. I feel like it's a robbery. I feel like, and the thing that I hate the most is they always rob people that it always seems to be their last opportunity or only opportunity. It's always some nobody who comes out of nowhere that wins a fight that ends up losing it, and it's the biggest chance of their life. It could change their life, but they get robbed because they're a nobody. Or it'll be a fighter who's in the twilight of their career, and then they'll rob them from the opportunity of being great one last time. And that's really what irritates me the most.
This was his moment to ride off into the sunset. He wouldn't have to fight again. It'd just be a good retirement fight for him. And now he probably will never get a chance to be undisputed.
No, he won't. He's too old.
And what makes it even more sad is because it's like just everything in his life. It's like, you're also a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, multiple-time world champion, and then this is the only thing that's eluded you in the sport. I mean, he's going to the Hall of Fame regardless, but still, that would have been a good bowing out.
It would have been.
And it could still be a passing of the torch. So it's like, even if you're the young guy losing to the old master, still, that could still be a passing of the torch. It's like, go on and do great things.
The thing about it is, if they would have let Loma win, who should have won, shouldn't say let win, if they would have picked the right winner who should have won, Loma, there still could have been a rematch. And 9 times out of 10, Haney would have got him in the rematch because Loma didn't look as good as he's looked in the past. You can definitely see that age is taking his hold on Lomachenko. He's not the same fighter he once was. And and Haney would have a good chance at beating him in a rematch. And then, that does it right there. Loma made undisputed. He got it. So what? He lost to the up and comer in the rematch, passing of the torch, like you said. It could be a 2-fight thing. Devin himself doesn't really feel too confident to me about going to 140 after this fight, because he was like, well, if it makes sense, I'll stay at 135. Before it was, I can't stay at 135 no more. I got to go up. Now it's, well, if the fight makes sense, I'll stay at 135. I don't think he's confident in himself anymore. But yeah, I just wish they would have gave him what he deserved, what he was owed. Like he won the fight. Like, and this is one of the many reasons why that I decided not to go down the boxing route, because I saw robberies so many times. I saw out-of-town fighters coming to hometown fights and they win the fight and they'd lose. They lose on the scorecard. They'd win the fight in the ring, but the minute it got announced, they're losers. And the game's so dirty. Like, fuck that.
I mean, yeah, look at Gabe Rosado made a career out of that.
Yeah, he did. He lost so many fights he should have won. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just, I'm getting tired of the sport, and I'm really going to start watching MMA. Like, I'm really going to start watching MMA. I might not know how to explain it. I might not know what the fuck is going on, but I'm going to start covering it. I've got to, because I can't keep condoning this shit.
I know how you feel. It's just like the judging, it's out of control. I don't know. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. But I mean, everybody has an agenda behind it. Like Jimmy was saying, they were going to take the belts from Haney unless he got knocked out. So.
Yeah, it's just sad that people who have never done anything athletic in their life take all these opportunities from people who break their back, who live and die in a fucking gym, who's dedicated their whole life to a craft, and then fat, sloppy people who have never done anything with themselves, never done anything physical, never been good at anything, just steal it from them. Because they don't know what it's like to be a competitor. They don't know what it's like to compete. They don't know what it's like because they've never done it, because they're just, I feel like, I don't even think you should be qualified to be a judge if you never fought before.
Exactly.
Period.
Yep, I agree. And it's twofold in Loma's case, because my man was in a whole war, came back and fought after being in a war.
Yeah. But it didn't mean anything, because at the end of the day, they still robbed him. And that's how I feel. I'm not going to feel any different. I feel like he got robbed. To me, it was as clear as day. I can't wait till I see all the videos tomorrow about the robbery and go through the comments of what other people have said. Watch, I know Fight Hype, who you brought up. I know they do a montage of all the different Twitter tweets about fights. So I can't wait to see what they put up about this fight, because I know Devin's about to get roasted.
Didn't Shakur say Loma won in the post?
Yeah. He got in the ring. He was like, I felt like Loma won. He's the real undisputed champion.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If Haney couldn't handle Loma, there's no way he's going to handle Shakur.
Yeah.
But anyways, dude, like I said, good talking with you. I'm about to go to bed. My watch battery is gone. It's winding down. And I got to get some sleep.
Likewise, my brother. All right. Have a good night.
Okay, you too. If y'all haven't done it yet, hit the thumbs up. I'm going to end it here. I'm done ranting. The consensus, the conclusion, the outcome of this video, the result is Lomachenko was robbed.